Hi everyone, it's Jenny from the Edison Public Library, and today we are going to make 3D paper snowmen. What are 3D paper snowmen, you ask? Well, let me show you. To get started, what you're going to need is 2 pieces of white paper. You're going to need blue construction paper, red and orange construction paper. You'll need a black marker, a pencil, a ruler, and our printout of our 3D snowmen. You'll also need some glue and scissors. All right, let's get started. So to get started, what we're going to do is start with our template that I already have printed out of the snowman craft. So I'm going to cut out all 3 pieces, and once we do that, we'll move on to our next step. Okay, so now I have each piece of my snowman cut out. And what I'm going to do before moving on to the gluing stage, I'm going to take my 2 pieces of white paper and fold them into 4s. So what that means is I'm going to fold them into half. And then in half again. And I'm going to repeat that on my second piece. So now that my 2 pieces of white paper are folded, I'm going to trace the 2 larger circles onto my 2 pieces of white paper. So I'm going to use my black marker to do this. Okay, so now I have my 2 traced, and I'm going to put my circles off to the side because we will use those later. And what I'm going to do now is actually cut out the circles we just traced. Okay, so now we have our 2 new circles cut out, and with these you should have 4 circles. So that's why we had folded it, so you could get multiple circles within each paper. So each one should have 4. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to work on each of these circles. So you'll take one of the circles and fold it in half. Then what you want to do is put glue on the back side. You can choose whichever side you want as the back side. It's up to you. And then you're going to take another circle of the same size and fold it in half and put it directly on top. So you want to glue it down on top. So your 2 circles are like this, just like that. So then you're going to repeat that with the last 2. Okay, so once you've finished, you should have your 3D pop-ups right here. Should look like this, with the one side flat. So you don't want to glue it all the way around. You want to leave the bottom 2 completely blank. So I'm going to repeat that with my smaller circles. Okay, and now I finished my smaller circles, so it looks the same as my big ones. Same thing, I don't want to glue the last 2 together, so I'm just going to put it to the side. Now moving on, we're going to cut out a scarf for a snowman. So I have a little piece of red scrap construction paper from me. I'm going to measure it probably about like an inch and a half, actually probably 1 inch. So I'm going to make a mark on 1 inch, and then I'm also going to measure it where it's 3.5 inches long. I feel like that'll be good for a nice long scarf. And then just make it into a rectangle. And then from there, I'm going to cut that out. So I have my long rectangle right here. I'm going to cut that out. And then once that's cut out, I'm actually going to make a V on one of the ends with my scissors. So I'm going to cut out a V, so it looks like a scarf. So this is how it'll look at the end. So I'm going to put that off to the side and do my last cut, which is going to be the nose. So I'm going to just measure probably about 1 inch up. I have more scrap paper right here in orange. So I'm going to measure 1 inch. And I'm going to make that a box to the end of the paper. So I'm going to cut out that box And then once I have this box cut out, what I'm going to do is on the long ways, make a triangle. So it looks like this. Okay, so now I have all my pieces cut out and I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna take my blue construction paper now, and I'm going to begin assembling the snowman. So what I wanna do is cut out those take those first pieces we cut out. So those 3 circles, and I'm going to start with the snowman on the bottom, the big round section on the bottom, the base of the snowman. So next I'm going to glue my hat on. It's gonna go right here. And now what we're going to do is we're gonna take those 2 pieces that we had made with all those circles, and we're gonna glue them down to the right spot. So right here is the smaller one. So I'm gonna glue mine down to the middle circle. Okay, so now my snowman is ready to get put together. So I have my scarf, and I'm going to put my scarf right at the top, but I think I need to trim down my scarf a little bit, so feel free to make adjustments where needed. Okay, and then what I'm also going to do is glue down the nose. And now you can use googly eyes or just draw the eyes on. I'm going to use googly eyes. I have some laying around right here, so I'm gonna just put some on. So once my googly eyes are on, it's time to draw on the arms and the mouth. So I'm gonna give my snowman a nice smile, because he's a happy snowman. And then I'm going to draw some arms out from the side of the middle. And then what I'm going to do is I have some snowflakes pre-cut out already. I'm going to take some of those and glue them to the bottom. So that way it makes it look like it's a snowy day with a nice snowman. And that is how you create a 3D snowman. I hope you guys had fun doing this craft. Thanks for watching. Bye.